All right. Tell me, by the way, I'm Norlin, licensed immigration consultant. Just want to make sure that I use the word quote unquote license because there are a lot of people out there who are giving advice and they're not even licensed. They just got it from practicing whatever immigration law and everything. But again, in order for us to do this or advise immigration law for a fee, we should be licensed. So that's the number one thing that you're doing right now. So I believe that you have a foreign national right now, and also you want to to clarify things about maybe sponsorship or maybe labor market impact assessment, maybe the work permit, and I'm here to clarify those things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they call themselves agency. So that's the thing. So that's the difference between agency and RCICs, which is registered consultants, which us. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Visit visa. So she came as a tourist visa. Of course, everyone likes Canada. Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Well, of course, as an employer, yeah. As an employer, of course, we want our helper or our employees to be legal in order for us to be able. Okay. All right. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So I'm asking if what did she finish in the Philippines, because it is very important for the requirement and qualification in specific in any kind or any specific job. There are some situations where we need some kind of like educational background, educational requirement in order for them to be qualified in getting that work permit. Now, she told me that she didn't finish any kind of postgraduate high school. Now, that's not a problem. We can always get away from that. Now, since that is the situation, you are tourist visa holder here. What you can do is to get a sponsorship, which is they call it housekeeper LMIA. Now, that LMIA housekeeper, you don't need educational background. You don't even need any kind of qualification like experience. So you don't need to worry about that. It is pretty much straightforward qualification for a foreign national to get a work permit. However, I'm saying that it is easy, straightforward qualification as a housekeeper in Canada. There's no guarantee, there's no assurance in everything. We know that, right? So in every immigration process, there's no way that there's an assurance because it can go wrong along the processing period. So for her, because she did not finish any kind of qualifying educational requirement for, I highly recommend you the housekeeper position. She doesn't even need to get an English, but it is your option to get an English exam just in case you want to make it more stronger. However, it is not necessary. It is not a requirement. It depends on the officer if they allow or ask you to get an English exam. But I have processed, I have handled a lot of my housekeeper LMIA and work permit approval. I didn't ask them to get an English exam, but I am hearing that there are some English exam requirement for if they do flag pulling. That's what I've been hearing, but some they don't. But generally you don't need English exam because in terms of LMIA is a work permit, and that work permit as a housekeeper is in a low wage or tier 4 or 5. That means you don't need English exam. That means you don't need educational attainment or any kind of after postgraduate as a high school, or not even a high school when it is housekeeper. They don't ask for an educational requirement. Now that you are qualified, okay, as a foreign worker. Now, second option is that we are talking about the announcement on I believe it was on August 28th that any tourist visa holder here in Canada, they cannot apply for work permit inside Canada anymore. That's what they said. However, there's a way. Okay, they might have put up some restriction, but there's always a way to get away from that kind of restriction. So number one, you can actually do the flag pulling. Once we get the LMIA, assuming we got the LMIA, number one, we can do the flag pulling. You can go to the border, turn around to the US, and then just tell them that you're doing flag pulling, and they will gonna actually instruct you what to do in there. Second option is that you can apply inside Canada, but they can process outside Canada, because it's not allowed inside anymore. So you can apply that while you are inside Canada, maintaining your status as tourist visa, but definitely you can apply by applying that you are declaring that you are a tourist visa holder inside Canada. Then if they will ask you, or the form application for work permit ask you, where do you want to apply about your work permit, then you can put Philippines, because Philippines is the place where she is legally she has a legal status there. I don't think that she can go back to Dubai or to other country, because that one you can be either work permit or tourist visa, but I recommend Philippines because that's the place where you are legally staying, or legally status. You have a legal status there. Okay, so those two options. And the third one is that you can actually go home, which is not, I mean, it's up to you if you want to go home, apply in with your LMIA, positive LMIA, you're holding that positive LMIA, you go back home and apply there, and waiting for your, you can wait for your application result for work permit outside Canada, or you can apply there and come back here, because as a Filipino passport holder, you have the unlimited in and out as a tourist visa. So that is the beauty of it, because right now you have that. So you can be in and out still. So those are the three options that she can do once she get that LMIA as a housekeeper. Okay, the first so she's inside Canada, but the processing is not inside Canada, but in the Philippines. So the Philippine consulate there, Canadian consulate, will gonna process her work permit. They will assess her work permit application in the Philippines. Now, once it's approved, then she could just go to the CBSA border, and then she can claim together with the approval letter from the IRCC that I'm claiming my original work permit here. Then they will gonna issue that to you. So yeah, she will gonna go there. Like for example, flag pulling is that you are trying to, I believe, shortcut everything. So what she will gonna do, she will gonna go to the border. Let's say we are in Ontario, and the border of US and Canada is in Rainbow Bridge. Then she can just go there, turn around, and then once she get into the US border, she can just tell them, I'm doing flag pulling. Okay, and then they will gonna teach her what to do. Then they will gonna let her come back, return back to Canadian border, and then a CBSA will gonna assess the application. They will gonna take a look on the positive LMIA, the contract, and of course her passport, her maintaining her status, which is her tourist visa. Those are the main thing. Then if they will gonna allow to take that process, they will gonna ask her to pay the application for work permit, which is $155, and then and then they will gonna be the one to process. CBSE officers will be the one to process. LMIA. It's you as an employer will gonna offer her a labor market impact assessment. That in order for us to get that positive LMIA, we need to apply to the ESDC. Applying in ESDC, there are a lot of ways in order for us to actually complete and comply with the LMIA application. So first, we need to open up a business payroll number. Okay, that business payroll number will gonna be coming from the Canada Revenue Agency. That's CRA. Now, once we apply for business payroll number from the CRA, then we could be able to connect to the job bank, which is another part or department of ESDC or Service Canada. then we will gonna be advertising whatever the job offer that you are showing to reach out the Canadian or underrepresented group. Those are the people or the permanent residents. We need that. It is imperative that we need to go for advertisement for the job bank. That is the number one requirement. We have to advertise in the job bank. Now we have to create a account in the job bank. We need to advertise that for at least 28 days or 4 weeks, uninterrupted 4 weeks to advertise in order for us to complete the requirement. Plus another extra advertisement, at least 2 advertisement with underrepresented group. Usually we have to reach out the community of people who are a newcomer. Second are the maybe refugees, asylum people, and also the disabled people. We need to reach out those underrepresented group. At least 2 advertisement. After 2 advertisement, another extra 1 national advertisement to reach out this Canadian and permanent. Aside from job bank, I always recommend Kijiji or Indeed or classified ads. So those are the things that we can actually comply in order for us to complete whatever things that we needed to do. I always recommend Kijiji or Indeed or classified ads. So those are the things that we can actually comply in order for us to complete whatever things that we needed to do. I always recommend Kijiji or Indeed or classified ads. So those are the things that we can actually comply in order for us to complete whatever things that we needed to do. If she applied for a company, they should offer LMIA, then they can keep them to work with them. But it's not gonna be open. It's still gonna be inside of give an open